All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we will be learning how to multiply fractions. My goal is that all the students will be able to correctly multiply fractions using cross-canceling to simplify your answer. First of all, here's a problem that we hope to be able to solve by the end of this lesson. We're reading about there are smaller schools and they often have less football players on their teams. And many of the players actually have to play both ways, or offense and defense. This can make winning a state championship or a title pretty challenging because now they are also more exhausted or more tired than maybe the other teams. So if we have Team A that has 48 players and and 3/8 of the players play both offense and defense, and football Team B only has 36 players and 2/3 of their players are playing both ways, how many more players play both ways on Team B than Team A? Hopefully, by the end of this lesson, you will be able to solve this problem. First, we need to look at what we do when multiplying fractions. The basics, there are two different methods we can actually use to solve this. Method 1, we start with step 1, which is to simply multiply the numerators, the top numbers, and then multiply the denominators. So 3 times 8 is 24, and 4 times 9 is 36. Then our next step is to simplify. We can divide by the greatest common factor, or if you didn't recognize that 12 went into both numbers, maybe you first divided by 4 and then divided by 3. Either way, you would come up with the answer of 2/3. Now, this second method is actually going to be a little bit easier if you learn how to do it correctly. Step 1 is to actually simplify using cross-canceling. So what is cross-canceling? We're going to factor a number out of the numerator and the denominator. What I mean by this, if we think of this problem as something like this example here, in which, in this example, 3/3 is actually equal to 1, in which you would simplify this. You would say that's the same as 1/1. Well, if we can find a common factor, like 3, and a 3 goes in 9, then we can factor that out. So when we factor a 3 out here, we're left with 1, because 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 9 divided by 3, we're left with 3. Excuse me. All right? And we can factor a 4 out of the denominator and the numerator as well. We have 2 left over on top, and 4 divided by 4 is 1 on the bottom. Basically, what we've done, if you look at this example over here, is we broke the 9 down into 3 times 3. And we broke our 8 down into 4 times 2. And then we matched up or paired up the common factors between the numerator and the denominator, and that leaves us with our answer. Once again, 2/3. Basically, our steps just switched places. We're simplifying first. Why is this process so much better? Because when you simplify first, you are using much smaller numbers, and it's easier to simplify rather than trying to simplify 24/36. All right, so let's practice a little bit. 1/4 times 3/5. You can pause the screen and then push play, and we'll go over them. Okay, let's see how you did. Were you able to simplify anything on the first problem? No. They didn't have any common factors, so we simply multiplied the numerators and multiplied the denominators. How about the second problem? Were you able to simplify anything here? That's right. The 9 and the 3 can cross cancel, And the 10 and the 2, we can factor a 2 out of both of those. So we're left with 1 and 5. And when you reveal the answer, we get 3/5. We then multiply numerators and denominators. What about this problem? Oh boy. When we have a whole number, what we have to do is actually write this as a fraction over 1. And when we do it, now we can move on to our cross-canceling. A 3 goes into both 15 and 9, so we can factor a 3, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. Once we don't have any more common factors, we simply multiply the numerators and the denominators. But look at this. What have we got here? An improper fraction. At this point, we need to convert the improper fraction into a mixed number, and we get 6 2/3. Our final problem down here at the bottom, we can again factor a 3 out of both of these numbers, and we can factor a 2 out of both of these numbers. Now when we multiply the numerators and the denominators, we get 2/15. Let's move back to that problem we started with in the beginning. Football team A has 48 players, and 3/8 of their players are playing both offense and defense. And football team B has 36 players, and 2/3 of their players are playing offense and defense. How many more for team B than team A? Well, when we multiply these numbers, write 36 over 1 and cross cancel, you should get the value of 24, playing both ways. And for team A, when we multiply these, we get the value of 18 playing both ways. So your answer is 6 more players playing both ways. And that can be very exhausting, making it much more challenging for a smaller school like Team B to beat a larger school like Team A. Well, I hope this helped you out with multiplying fractions. See ya!